Hey guys, my name's Green Zero and I'm bringing you an update here for the Kane's Wrath Champions League 2021-2022. This was a league which was actually announced back in October of this year. They accepted sign-ups and then we had a qualification period throughout November, and now at the start of December here we have the league underway with the positions now announced, the players all announced, and games are actually beginning. If you want to know more about this, head over to Command Post. You should have it downloaded, links in the description. It's also available through the Russian Discord. You can find links there, but basically a quick rundown of the league. There is a prize fund, of course, and it's expected to go up as the league goes on because they're expecting to accrue more donations and things like that. But basically it's a 1v1 tournament. R16 is the patch. The top 18 players are in the Champions League. There is another Breakaway league which I'll sort of touch on for lesser players, but everyone who got through qualification is in this league, top 18. Guaranteed cash prize for league participants. In the second part of the video, I'll actually talk about that a bit more and how I think the league's going to go. Dates, it is of course going to run for quite some time. They're expecting it to run well into 2022, and they're expecting 34 rounds, best of 8, because it's held by the Russians. They do enjoy draws, and draws are a possibility in a best of 8, and for a league it's very important. So things we do know about the league is that you're guaranteed a cash prize if you complete it. Cash prizes will be awarded based on your finishing position, so even if you're down quite low, climbing a few extra places is going to be very important. There is no final series or anything like that, but the organisers have not ruled out perhaps some type of special event for the top players at the end of the league. But yeah, cash prizes will be dictated by your league finishing position there. So it's going to be interesting. At the moment, one best of 8 series per week. Sometimes they have mentioned you may have to do 2. But yeah, that's basically a brief rundown of the league, and we're going to jump into the players up next. So this is the roster for the Champions League. These were the top 18 players here in no particular order. We have Thanatos, aka Dimitri, Senna, Aggressor Aru, Alabaster, aka Work, and Bike Rush Owns, Drive Russian, Dune Tiger, Divmir, Eclipse, Futurama, myself, Green Zero, HSPX, Haru, Specs, Lumos is there, Masterleaf, Onchi, aka Big Mule, One Vision, Shock Trepid, and Hulk. So well done to these players for making it to the league. I'll have predictions coming out momentarily. Let's take a quick peek at the Breakaway League first. So in the Breakaway League, we have the players who didn't quite make it into the Champions League. A lot of lesser names here: Amarashi, Assassin Spy, 8-Weg1, Buka, Chaosit, CT Pacey, Dorito, Devara42, Hulk, I think that's an error, I need to check that, Kavos, Libo, Lord of the Lamas, Mustrin, Plan Eden, Random Fitness, Wildcom, Scorpio, aka Lion Cub, and Sharp Sense. So again, I'm going to keep it mainly to the Champions League, but if you want to have a look at the Breakaway League, they're the participants. There are also some other people who were completely eliminated out of all leagues, but yeah, that's your Breakaway League participant list. So moving on to my predictions, this is my finishing predictions. I'm not doing like week by week. If you go to the Discord, the Russian Discord, where the organizers are, they do have a tip stat where you can tip weekly results as well as scores. That's already underway. Round 1 is actually underway at the moment, so you're probably going to miss out there, but I think they're going to be doing it on a round by round basis, so you can still do whatever weeks you have time for. But I'm just going to jump in and go the finishing positions here. So let's start off with first to fourth. This is the top 4. Now these, I want to make it clear, they're not in any particular order. So for example, Bike Crush is the first name in that box. It doesn't mean he's going to come first. I just think he's going to finish first to fourth. Myself, Green Zero, Master Leaf, and then I think Bike Crush is a dead set. Like, there's no way you can put him anywhere else. He's going to finish top 4. He's favorite to win. Might not necessarily win the tournament or the league, but he'll definitely be top 4. I think myself, Green Zero, and Marsleaf are sort of safe bets as well. Marsleaf has been a bit iffy with his gameplay recently, but I think he will come good. He is one of the best players in the world. I think it's a safe bet to put myself in there as well, but again, I'm getting on in the years. You know, I could drop out the top 4 as well, but I would like to go for that top 4 position and of course try to win the league if possible. The last person in the top 4, Drive, I was teetering on the edge here. I originally had Futurama in there because he's come so far and he's on fire. I also put Shock Trepid in there as well because like he's really good. Like he's basically the best, one of the best Tiberium Wars players of all times, and a lot of that carries over to Kane's Wrath as well. But I ended up having just to settle for Drive and put my faith in Drive Russian. That's who I think is going to finish in the top 4. We'll see how these predictions pan out over the course of the league because I'm doing them now. Positions 5 to 8, of course, Shock Trepid and Futurama are going to be there. There's nowhere else they could be. It's obvious because I didn't put them in the top 4. They're going to be here. I think this is a safe bet. These guys are all going to be top 8 no matter what. Senna's going to be in there as well. Senna will do well. He'll do really well. You know, he's going to do good. He's going to beat a lot of people. Will he be able to get top 4? That's going to be his goal, I think. But yeah, I'm definitely putting him in a solid finish. He's one of the best players in the league. And then the last person, Eclipse. This is a bit iffy because I wasn't really sure who to pop in there. I did swap a few players around a few times, but I'm just going to slip Eclipse in there just because I think he may actually do quite well. I could be very wrong about that though, so again, he's sort of in there. This is where it gets a bit iffy here, especially with positions 9th through 12th. So I've got Alabaster, aka Worker Ant. I think he's a solid for this position. He's going to beat everyone else below him, almost certainly. Or at least do very well against his other group of players here as well. So I think he'll do all right. June Tiger, yeah, you know, he'll do okay. I mean, you'd like him to do better, but he's sort of teetering on the edge here. You see some of the things he writes and types these days, you just wonder where he's going. But again, at the end of the day, I want him to do well. Thanatos, aka Dimitri, a player you don't really want to talk too much about because he gets pretty high. I've just mentioning his name, but I mean, he's mid at best, so there's not really much else, not really any other place you can put him. I was actually expecting him to bail out of the league because there's no way, you know, he can keep his cover story of being a potential expert when he's in this particular league, but he's not. He's mid at best. He's always been mid at best. Jumping onto HSPX Haru Specs, you know, you'd like Haru to finish higher. I would like Haru. Everyone likes Haru. Who doesn't like Haru? But, you know, at the end of the day, he's going to finish here. I think he'll get top 10. Like, I think he'll get top 10. He won't finish outside top 10, I reckon, but I think he'll do well. And of course, position 13th through 18th, obviously there's 6 players here because it's a bit of a bigger bulk. But this is, you know, a bit of bottom feeders, I guess. But we have Lumos, Hulk, Aggressor, Divnir, One Vision, Onchi, aka Big Mule. Now, just because I put you down here doesn't mean you have to give up. You can still pull out surprises, pull out upsets, and just remember every position you finish higher gets you a larger cash prize. So even at the end of the league, if you're right down here, you can still try to climb a few extra spots to get that extra cash prize, keeps people motivated. But even if you finish last, I mean, you qualified for the Champions League. You know, only 18 players qualified. There was over 45 players tried to qualify for this league. Even if you finish last, you've done a good job. But those are my predictions. We'll see how they pan out. I'm excited to see how things go. And of course, the tournament is underway, or the league is underway. There is a ladder available. I probably should have mentioned that earlier, available from the Discord. And I'll do my best to bring periodic updates to the league. Maybe not weekly updates or fortnightly, but sometimes weekly, fortnightly, other times at least once or twice a month. I'll see how it goes, see how timing goes, but yeah, I do want to bring up updates for the league. Stay tuned, there's another part of this video where we're going to talk about the league a little bit further, but yeah, those are my predictions for the Champions League of 2021 and 2022. Okay, so this part of the video is about my thoughts on how the league's going to go. Now, first things first, I want the league to do really well. It has such good potential, and I really hope they do a good job. Things they've done right is there seems to be a lot of organisation in the league, so very much happy with the level of organisation we've seen, especially during the qualifying period. They really pushed people hard to play their games and to coordinate and organise, because historically, most leagues basically fail pretty quickly because of lack of organisation. We know people like Game Replays have never held a successful league ever. It just doesn't happen. They're so difficult to pull off. But yeah, I really hope this league's going to do well. The Russians do have experience with leagues, with the Conjunct tournament, things like that. It makes some mistakes there, but hopefully they don't repeat those. Anyway, yeah, a lot of cool artwork, a lot of updates coming. They're not super clear on certain things, but they have the layout pretty well done. Something I like is the guaranteed cash prize. This will keep people playing in the league till the very end, because even if you're down the bottom, as long as you complete, you get a cash prize. And again, even if you can't get to the top end of the league, if you can climb a few extra spots later on in the league, you can just increase that prize money. So there's always something to play for, even if you're further down the league. And this is important because a lot of players, once they realize they're out of prize contention, they'll just stop playing, they'll back out, it will disrupt the league. The organizers will have to remove them from the league and then, you know, nullify all of their results up until that point. So that's one of the biggest problems with leagues. But with a guaranteed cash prize and a cash prize also affected by where you finish, you know, there's a motivation to complete, and there's motivation to complete even just that extra 1 or 2 spots higher than what you're currently sitting in towards the back end of that league. So I think they've done a really good job with that one there, so I think it's going to be quite successful. Things I'm a little bit concerned about is they haven't been super transparent on certain rules, how they're going to work, but they have given us some updates. The qualification period was pretty interesting because they divided people into groups of 4 and you had to play everyone twice. Now that's not a problem, except you had to play best of 8s. So that means you had a minimum of 30 to 48 games just to qualify for the league, especially since most of these groups, it was very obvious who was going to win. So it's very obvious who was going to win those groups, or at least, in most situations. And on top of that, they had to do another round of qualifying after that because, you can only take 18 people. Originally it was 16, but they expanded to 18. So, they had 10 groups. So 10 people finish first, and then they can only take, 6 to 8 of the next people. So they couldn't just take everyone in second. They had to get everyone in second, and they had to play yet another round of qualifying. So there was a lot of qualifying for this league, and I think it was a little bit too much. The Russians, I think, are bitten off more than they can chew in certain situations. Trying to do the Breakaway League as well. I think the Breakaway League won't complete. It's just, you look at the names in there, inexperienced players, they can't organise themselves. I think it will fall apart relatively quickly, but they should just concentrate on the Champions League, really. I mean, one league is going to be difficult enough as it is, and I think they have a real shot of making the Champions League something that people are going to remember for a long time, or making it really good at least, so people can remember it. But yeah, there's a few other things about the league. Obviously, in this day and age, we have like Discord. So Discord is a big deal these days. You have instant messaging with any player in the community, whereas before, if you look back at previous leagues that were attempted, it was always forum-based. So you had to write a note on a forum, wait for the other player to respond, and then you would see that a long time later, and it just was very inconsistent, very lack of coordination. People just got bored and gave up on it, and there wasn't even really proper cash prizes and things like that. The organisation was down the tubes, and that's what really screwed it up. But yeah, with the Russians, they seem to have a lot of organisation, which is great. Discord helps immensely with player organisation. The Champions League is full of experienced players who have like dozens and dozens and dozens of tournaments under their belt and are very experienced, so they can organise themselves very well. So the combination of good organisation from the organisers with Discord comms and player experience is what's going to make a big difference, which is why I'm concerned the Breakaway League won't work, because inexperienced players, they won't be as coordinated. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to the league. The games are going to get underway very shortly for myself. I was actually lucky I got dealt versus Aggressor RU first, so I don't have a particularly difficult opponent, whereas there are some other games in the round that are particularly tough, especially as a first round opponent. Some people got some real tough ones there. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to try to cast like a series, at least one series per week, because there will be some good matchups here. And again, if you want to do tipping or tip stat, they have weekly competitions on the Discord where you can pick winners and results, and there's going to be upsets. I think there has already been some upsets because some first round results are coming in, but yeah, it's going to be a great league. And once it develops, I'm really looking forward to once you get 6, 8, 10, 12 games in, you're really going to have a league that's going to start to materialize, and a ladder which will start to materialize. And I think it's going to get very exciting, especially if we get down the lower end and there's a lot of players which are quite close. I think it's going to be very competitive, because realistically, there's about 6 or 7 players who can realistically win this league. Now, obviously, there's the favourites, Bike Rush, Master Leaf, even myself, hopefully, but or even Drive and stuff like that. But the thing is, you look at players that can win and players that are more likely to win. So there's a difference. I want to differentiate between that players that have the ability to win the league, but the players that are the most likely to win the league. So of my top 4 picks, they're the most likely to win, but anyone inside the top 8 really actually has the potential to win if they play well enough, and they do well enough. It's a best of 8 series. You can have draws. That's obviously going to play a big part. Also, game percentage is important as well. When it comes to the picks, when it comes to people playing, especially if you're playing a harder opponent, if you can make them pay for that victory, if you can take games off them and you can hurt them, that's going to have a big impact later on in the league, because not only are you differentiated by your wins, you're also differentiated by your win-loss ratio. So I haven't actually double checked. I think they're going to use a plus-minus system where you have plus-minus games. They could use a percentage system. I'm a bigger fan of a percentage system, to be honest, because if you have a plus-minus game system, people have to sit there and work it out with a calculator who's actually ahead of who when all the games are all different. Whereas if you just have a percentage, you can see, oh yeah, he's on 50% win rate versus 47% win rate, so there's only a very tiny gap there. Whereas if you have something like, he's got a plus 12 game versus a plus 8, which actually I guess now that I think of it isn't actually that tricky. I might have been misconceiving that idea, but again, I'm a fan of percentage and things like that. You do have a ratio where they keep your total games won and lost, so just to differentiate between a match and a game. So a match is when you play an entire series versus an opponent, so the best of 8 is the match, and then the individual games are of course the games. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this league. There's probably not too much more I can add to this one here. I had some gameplay running in the background for you, so I'll probably just run this video out so you can see how the rest of this particular game goes. But stay tuned to my channel. No doubt I'll be bringing some videos. I know I haven't brought a lot of videos recently, but hey, the holidays are coming up and I got time off, so you can expect some series. I do have my eye on a series from round 1 which has already been played as well, and I think I'm going to try to do that, try to bring what I think will be the game of the week to the screens, and maybe in some situations try to live cast it if possible. That might be a bit tricky, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this introduction video. Again, I will be back periodically, maybe not on a weekly basis all the time, maybe fortnightly, sometimes once or twice a month, but I will be bringing updates from the league if you don't want to go to the Discord, or if you don't want to install Command Post and things like that. So Command Post links are in the description. But anyway, my name is Green Zero. I hope you all enjoy this league. I can't wait to see some more games being played. I'm going to leave you with a remainder of this gameplay here for you today, and I will catch you all in the next video.
C'est une obligation. Détruire tout. C'est une obligation. C'est une obligation.